Thank you all very much for being here. Can you hear me? Come on in if you want to hear my speech. It's all right if you don't. You can go outside. I get it, right? It's Token 2049, and we're almost at the end of a pretty active week, right? Solana Breakpoint as well. So, anyways, my name is Michael Robinson. I am the foundation chairman for Oort, and what we're building here is a decentralized AI, and we have several components that are leading into this. My topic for today is going to be unleashing humanity's potential with DEAI, decentralized AI. Next slide. So I think it's very important for us to understand data, what it is. It's very opaque. Most people don't know what it really means. And essentially, it's every time you interact with technology, you drive your Tesla, you're on your Google search engine, you are being mined. You're creating new data sets. So me being the curious person that I am, I'm a macro trends researcher. I was looking at like how much data is created every day. And we see over 402 million terabytes, equivalent to that much DVDs, 212 DVDs. So what does this mean? We could go to the next slide. The raw data is actually the information block, right, that's used to actually train AI. Just recently, we had COVID. Those lockdowns had many people at home scouring through their cell phones and then watching Netflix and also using their computers. So what we saw was the fastest growth of data take place during COVID. 90% of the world's data was generated during that time. Now moving forward, we see most of the data that's been created are videos, followed by social media content. So all of this is being used to train these centralized AIs. Next. And there is a bit of challenge here, which is the black box or the opacity behind these models. So challenge is your data is being used against you. There's no privacy, essentially. Lack of transparency, tons of biases. I was watching, actually reading, a recent research on the current centralized AIs that are on the market. And what they discovered is most of them lean left. So if you are someone that is going to be using AI as your personal assistant, you might not be getting the full story, right? It's kind of like media 2.0. 95%, if not 99% of American media is owned by 6 corporations. And now you're being fed corporate narratives. The same thing is creeping into AI, if not has already been there. So this is why we are going over the centralized AI workflow. You see it's very institutional, it's gated, and also you have no incentive, right? There's no incentive for all the data that you continue to create. Just think of how much data is stored on your cell phone. All the websites that you're checking on a daily business, like daily experience. I'm on my phone constantly as a researcher, so I'm getting mine like crazy. But next, what we're building is the decentralized AI. So, in decentralized AI, we trust. And through blockchain, we can actually add that transparency, a little bit more inclusivity, and then also scalability would be there as well. I think it's going to be very interesting moving forward, all the potentials that could be done with on-chain data. I think decentralized AI would be able to give back data sovereignty, but not only that, we can create a decentralized governance system. And I don't think a liquid token solves that. We have to come up with something that's new, that's going to really get people across the world involved in this future of technology, because at the state level, you're going to need some regulations or some kind of it's going to be some structured governance from like state to municipality to just probably down to local. It's going to be very interesting moving forward. So at Oort, what we've done is we've taken the DPIN narrative in a more practical use case. So you can use your miner, which is our Deimos devices, to actually store data while mining Oort, but at the same time, you can utilize your cell phone, your laptop as well to do quests. Me being Jamaican, what I realize every time I go home is that a lot of my friends don't have laptops. They don't have computers, but they might have one or two cell phones, right? And they might be interested in getting paid for like services that they can assist us with. For instance, data labeling, data collections. So we get the people, humanity essentially, what I like to call the human infrastructure, more involved in what we're doing on a daily basis. So what is Oort? We are a decentralized, verifiable cloud compute platform for AI applications. We aggregate GPUs from data centers and like edge devices, and we're building a more trustworthy AI. I know it's a heavy lift, but we've started. So here's our architecture. We have our super nodes. We have partnerships with very strong data centers, Tencent, AliCloud, Seagate, the likes of which, I mean, we continue to add on and expand on. But then we also have our edge nodes as well, which are going to be your local device. It's kind of like a Apple TV, and you can store data up to 1 terabyte while mining Oort. And then we also have our partners, which are the archival nodes, your Filecoin, your Arweave, your Storage J. So your data is going to be sharded across this architecture, and we only need 1/3 of our tech to be up for you to actually call that data. We also have our own chain as well. So it's Olympus protocol. We have a liquid token. We did our TGE January 15th to much success, thank God. And that was on MEXC, BitGet, and Gate. So the products that we have, which I'm about to go over shortly, Oort Storage, Oort Data Hub, Oort Compute. You could go next. As I mentioned earlier, getting people more involved in this build out. So Oort Data Hub is our blockchain, like community-driven platform where we're building out the human infrastructure that I mentioned earlier. Right now, we continue to expand. The goal is supposed to be backing into, through a roadmap, 100,000 people across the world. I think we can slowly get to a larger number, but through incentivization and partnerships. Actually, I just finished speaking with YGG. They're going to be a partner of ours as we go live with the commercial launch for Oort Data Hub. Then we also have our Oort Storage, which has over 7,000 clients. It's just object storage. And it's the way we look at it, you would think of if data is oil, then the storage is the tanker, and then the Oort Data Hub is going to be where refinement takes place, collection and labeling. Oort Compute comes live, or will be live, Q4 of this year. We also have a real cool case study with Lenovo Image. We partnered with them, and essentially we're helping them offset like call center costs. They're getting like burned like $5 per call. So we integrated our factual AI, and we've had over 200,000 dialogues with 91,000 clients of theirs. And you'll see the accuracy was over 90%, which is a win for everyone. We could go to the next slide. Now with Oort Data Hub, one of our products that I mentioned earlier, we now have a couple partnerships. Actually, I was just in Shenzhen meeting with the team at Shenzhen Data Exchange. Very strong, prolific what they're building there. They are getting tons of backing. They've only been live for the past 2 years. And as I mentioned, 90% of data that we're seeing on the market was generated during COVID. So they came alive at the right time. They've already seen through over 15 billion flows of data transaction, and they're actually using the data to build out smart cities. We also have a partnership with AI Tech, and they're based in Dubai, and they're also a marketplace. So essentially, think of it as this. Data Hub, we have our community members participate with their edge devices, your cell phone, your laptop, and you get to help us with data collection and then also data labeling. And for that, you're incentivized to do so. You get paid out to do so. How do you get that? Because we have marketplaces where we can put the data sets, they get sold, and then that goes back to the community members. This is our wonderful ecosystem. It's pretty robust. It continues to expand. Token 2049 was a huge success. I'm actually very tired because of all the partnerships that we've just added. So it will continue to grow, and we're excited about that. There it is. Where the solar system ends, decentralized AI begins. And that's the end of my speech. Thank you very much.